m'appelle Michelle Breslauer. My name is Michelle Breslauer. I currently work at the United Nations Global Compact, where I lead a portfolio on transformational governance. We are a network of companies that join the Global Compact, and they commit at their highest levels of the organization to aligning with principles in the areas of human rights, labor rights, the environment, and anti-corruption. And these principles are derived from conventions, international resolutions, etc. And so we have about 20,000 companies around the world in the Global Compact now. And over the years, we've taken the work from not only working around business and human rights, business and anti-corruption, business and the environment, which are all about how companies can operate in a way that does no harm, into also thinking about how do we pursue and advance the sustainable development goals that are a framework that all the member states of the UN signed off on, and we are trying to push the world to meet in 2030, how businesses are can be stewards of environmental responsibility and sustainability, how companies can make a positive contribution in society. And that could be not just ensuring that they do no harm, but that they're also investing in broader societal aims, from social cohesion to paying a living wage to setting emissions reductions targets in terms of climate, and supporting governments and the international system in doing the same, which also means holding governments to account for their own responsible behavior. I started EB in kindergarten, so I guess at 5 years old, and I was there until I was 14. So in a way, it's like I didn't know anything else in terms of school. And so the easiest and first thing that comes to mind is really, of course, my group of friends. I have a very, we had small classes at EB, so people were close. And even if you weren't close, you knew their families and their trajectories. And my closest friends are a group of women that I went to EB with. And, we're still friends, and we are now in our 40s. It's very easy for me, I think, to make a link and say, well, I went to this bilingual school and it was multicultural. Of course, not everybody was French. I myself am not French. I don't come from a French family. I went to EB because my parents spoke different languages, and English was our common language. And EB was an opportunity for them to provide another language for their kids. So even though my brother and I grew up speaking French, that wasn't a language that we had at home. And, there was a mix of cultures and a mix of languages at EB. And now I work for the United Nations, so it's pretty easy to, I think, make that link. And now I'm one of few Americans who work at my office in particular in New York. And, I went on and I studied international relations, and I have always been interested in foreign policy and diplomacy. And while I have a very kind of unique role within the wider UN and multilateral and international system, I do think that growing up in a more multicultural environment just made it easier then for me to always be in those types of places as well. If French is new for your children, be patient with them. It can be hard to learn two languages at once, or to learn how to read and write in two languages at once. Recognize also that your children are going to school where they're receiving an amazing benefit for how their brain develops and how they see the world in terms of learning two languages. And I think that that's an amazing benefit to be able to go out in the world and to see the world through a lens where you can see differences and multiplicities and diversity and experience them all kind of equally. But
Mais jamais rien n'efface les rêves ou la violence. Ah oui, ça vaut